What's going on, everybody? My name is Corey. Welcome back to BREW-BRG. We're here with another live deck tech. Well, I guess this is the deck tech of the live deck tech that we did on stream. This is the video where we do a deck tech after doing a live stream deck build with my content creator friends. This week joining me, we have Empress Quinn, one of the most amazing deck brewers that I've had the pleasure of both meeting, playing Magic with, and just hanging out with in general. So super excited to have Faye here on the show today for you. So really hoping you enjoy this one as much as I enjoyed doing it. Today, we're building a TEMUR partner build, but it's not really, the partners are great, but it's not really based around the partners. The partners were put in to fit with the deck, which is really cool. So here they are. I forgot what they were. So there they are for your viewing pleasure. And yeah, let's just jump right into the deck build. This is a really fun one. I'm really excited to do it. So let's go. Hello, thank you, larger me from a second ago. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to BREW-BRG. Here with one of the best people in Magic brewing, I think. That's my personal opinion. You're one of the people I go to constantly, especially when I'm building a Rakdos or Rakdos adjacent deck. The first person I think of is I gotta ask Quinn what's good in this deck. But anyway, we're joined by Empress Quinn. Quinn, how you doing?
Oh, Corey, you flatter me. Hello, gamers. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, welcome. So before we begin, I know we've done this twice on stream already, but we're going to do it a third time. If you want to let everybody watching know who you are, what you do in the Magic community, and where they can find you. I'm going to put all your links and stuff as much as I can in the description, but let everyone know verbally if you want right now. You can do that.
Yeah, sounds good. So I am Empress Quinn. You can find me on Twitter at Ludevic Energy and the Twitch chat at Redacted Energy. I be hosting on MTG Lexicon, playing Magic the Gathering on Saturdays on Twitch. We've got D&D over there every other Friday, and you can check out our YouTube channel for VODs of all of that content, as well as my podcast at drownedsecrets.fm. You can participate in the podcast there by using the hashtag on Twitter, drownedsecrets.fm. I like to showcase ways that people have absolutely beefed it in games of Commander, and use smooth jazz radio DJ energy and beats that I've produced as backing, and it's a good time for everyone.
Very cool. It is good stuff. I feel like there's been one or two times that I've died tremendously that you've talked about. Maybe I don't know. I don't remember, but it's possible. I lose quite spectacularly in this game a lot, so
you got to get those on Twitter, babes.
That's true. That's true.
That's where it all comes from.
All right. Well, so today we built a very interesting build that I'm very excited to see play out eventually, and I got to figure out a way to get like a BREW-BRG gameplay episode out there with like everyone who's done one of these in some capacity.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited for this one particularly because it's outside of what I would typically do as far as like a theme and things like that. But so who do we build? What do we got going on here today?
So today we've put together Ludevic Necro-Alchemist and Kamahl, Heart of Krosa, and it's a TEMUR Energy, Oil, and +1/+1 counters deck.
So basically just like TEMUR counters in some capacity.
Yeah.
Very cool. So for those of you who don't know, Ludevic Necro-Alchemist is 1 blue-red for a human wizard. He's a 1/4. At the beginning of each player's end step, that player may draw a card if a player other than you lost life this turn. So basically it's just like incentivizing players to attack your opponent so that way they can draw cards. Same thing with yourself. And then Kamahl, Heart of Krosa, 6 green for a human druid, a 5/5. At the beginning of combat on your turn, creatures you control get +3/+3 and gain trample till end of turn. And then for 1 and a green, until the end of your turn, target land you control becomes a 1/1 elemental creature with vigilance, indestructible, and haste. It's still a land. That's just really good. All the things on that card are really good. So we'll dig a little deeper into Kamahl a bit later. But for those of you who wanted to know what they do, there you go. And here they are. They're above us right now in all their glory. All right, cool. So I guess the question for this one is, how did we end up at these two? What was the process, the road we took to get here?
So the main driving impetus of this deck is I wanted to use the draft archetypes of energy and oil counters, and that was our starting point. Usually Corey here starts from the commander and works down from there, but I had a theme and wanted to work up. So after adding a bunch of cards into the 99, we sort of got to the point where we were looking at that and then looking at possible options. And the card draw from Ludevic, as well as the incentive for opponents to go elsewhere, was very enticing, particularly because besides combat damage, there were ways that we could do burn damage to easily trigger Ludevic and ensure that we get that end-step card draw, which made him an obvious choice. We also have a lot of like techie value type creatures, and Kamahl in the command zone is going to help us push that like damage, like turn those little guys into like actual damage that's going to be a threat and move the game towards a close in our favor, of course.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, as you always say, what is the phrase you always say about reducing life totals?
Yeah, you gotta advance the game state meaningfully via the reduction of life totals.
There it is. That's something, if you're a regular on the stream, or any stream that Quinn's on, you probably have heard that 1,000 times. And it makes sense. All right, cool. Very cool. So we got the commanders. We have the theme. How is this deck trying to win? What's its path to victory?
So the main thing that we're going to do is turn our creatures sideways and get our little like chip-ins every turn. We're going to demonstrate some value with the interactions of oil counters and energy. We're going to pay for things to get like +1/+1 with energy. We're going to remove oil counters to deal damage to things and put more counters on things and buff things. It's just a little like taking game actions and creating game objects and slowly reducing life totals and getting rewarded for it with card draw, until we're at a point where we have enough mana and the time, I guess, to resolve Kamahl. And then all of my little guys that I've been getting those chip-ins with is going to be like, oh no, these are an actual threat now,
Wow.
And my life total is low enough that I am stressing about all of that.
Yep. And then you have the things, what was that artifact that we added pretty early, like the Gonti's Aether Heart.
Yeah, Gonti's Aether Heart and Lightning Runner are going to enable us to buy extra turn singular and extra combats plural to close it out with combat damage.
Nice. It's a very interesting, like I said earlier, like energy is not an archetype that I have ever considered for Commander. I think I wasn't really even playing Commander when like Aether Revolt came out originally, so energy hasn't even been on my radar, but there's definitely some fun things that we've thrown in here, and then especially adding the oil and then the modification synergies and things like that. This is a really fun looking deck, and I'm very I said it before, but I'm very excited to see how this thing plays out in future games, which is cool. But
yeah, I don't play a whole lot of green mana, so dipping my hands in that leafy goodness and seeing what was up is really interesting.
I can understand that. I dip my toes in green a little bit, but I'm the same boat. Is it? Well, actually, that's a lie. I play my Merfolk deck is primarily green, but I don't know. It's not my go-to color. Awesome, cool. So that being said, what would you say if someone came up to you on the street and they're like, Quinn, that Magic deck in your hand looks really cool. What are 5 cards out of that deck that you would say are the best or that you really like? So for those of you who watch this is the 5-card pick thing. So if there were 5 cards you had to say were like, showcase cards for the deck, which cards would you pick?
Okay, so I think I would want to showcase each of the mechanics that we're working with individually and then sort of show how we're multiplying them. So for starters, I would showcase oil with Urabrask's Forge. That is going to get an oil counter every turn and then make a large that I'm going to turn sideways every turn. The proliferation effects in the deck are going to make that a real threat for me.
Yep.
And that's really like one of the like signpost cards in the deck for the oil section. We also have an energy section, and for that I would showcase Aetherwind Basker. That's sort of my energy win con. It's a large with trample, and it gets +1/+1 for each energy counter you spend on its activated ability. So once I've gotten to a point where we've got just like buckets of energy, I'm just going to dump all of that into that lizard and to turn it sideways, and you're going to answer my threat, or I'm going to reduce your life total to 0.
Or you're dead.
Another way that we are going to get more card per card is with Thassa Deep Dwelling. We have guys that enter the battlefield and make some oil counters or put some oil counters on things, and we have guys that enter the battlefield and make energy counters. And Thassa is going to let us buy each of those again without having to actually spend the mana on it. That little investment is gonna give us that more card per card that's gonna stretch us into the late game. The support for the whole archetype that we've got going on is Expand the Sphere. That ramp spell is also a proliferate spell, so you like reveal cards from the top of your library, and you can put lands onto the battlefield with it. And if you don't choose to put lands on the battlefield, then you proliferate for each land that you didn't, and I think you choose like up to 2 or whatever.
Yep.
So that can either like ramp twice or proliferate twice or any mixture of those two. And all of that is what we want to be doing. We either want to be advancing our game state so that we can activate Kamahl or do whatever we need to do with mana, or we want to proliferate and spin up these oil counters or the energy or the +1/+1. Going into the end game here, how else we intend to win is things like Aki Battle Squad. That is gonna, whenever a modified creature attacks, if it's the first combat that turn, we're gonna buy an extra combat. All of that is gonna help us get that damage through with our like, not like huge guys, but we're gonna make them hurt with more times going to combat.
And with all the like the compounding of like Kamahl effects and what was the other thing? The Basker, like that 1 energy to give it +1/+1 is just stupid.
And then, it already has trample built in, so I'm just like beep beep.
Yeah, and then just add that with extra combat steps, and it's done for everybody. No one's alive except for you. Awesome. I've said it like 3 times right now, and I'm sorry, I feel like a broken record, but this is like one of the more unique builds I've done on BREW-BRG so far, and I really dig it. I think this is really cool. I think this is super fun and very excited to see it.
That's awesome. It was a really good experience building it, so I'm glad you had fun too.
Definitely. And I learned more today about Scryfall than I have since I've been using it for the last 3 years, 4 years, however long it's been around. Like,
hell yeah.
The syntax stuff, and then learning I can download art, just the art images. God dang.
Yeah, I hope some of that syntax stuff sticks, because it's really like helpful to be able to just type the Scryfall syntax directly into the Moxfield search engine and like just auto like pull up all of your options and start clicking in immediately. It really streamlines the deck building process.
It does, and it was super helpful to see. And it helps streamline the BREW-BRG process too, because on my end I'm going between like Moxfield and Scryfall. I'm like, okay, I got to copy the card image or the card name, put it over here, go to this tab. Where like, just being able to do it all in Moxfield is awesome. And I wish I did know that, but I don't know enough about the syntax to have made it work for me. So now that I know a little bit more about the syntax stuff, it's great. It's great. If you don't know, go back and watch the stream VOD that's on Twitch, and you can get a crash course on Moxfield and Scryfall syntaxing. You should do that. All right. Well, that's basically all we got here. Any final words on the deck or anything else you want people to know about it before we wrap up?
Yeah, I haven't done any playtesting yet, so obviously the list is subject to change. I'm very into Magic the Gathering and will be adjusting this for quite some time. So, don't expect that to be exactly the thing that's pictured here. Some stuff's going to shift around. Also, there's maybe some like obvious inclusions that we didn't add because, bro, I only smoke mids. I didn't put the like top shelf cards in there. If you're seeing something that obviously should be there and it's not in there, just like think about the power level of that card and ask yourself, is that mids? Because if it's not, then that's probably why.
It's not in here.
We just want to offer that explanation up front.
That's fair. And I will have the deck list for this in the description down below. So if you want to save it or just keep finding it, you can just click on it and see any changes or things that get added to it. So, and then along with all of Quinn's links as well, will be down there. But all right, cool. Well, Quinn, thank you so much for joining me on this. This was quite a pleasure to build with you, and I'm very excited to see it in its infancy, but then also in its completion as it goes along. So thank you so much
Yeah,
for.
I'm excited to see where it turns out.
Heck yeah! Thanks for being a part of this. This was a good time. Final thing, if you want to get let everyone know again who you are really quick before we head out, you can do that now, and we'll get out of here. We'll get out of everyone's hair.
Yeah, I've been Empress Quinn. You can find me on Twitter at Ludevic Energy, Twitch chat at Energy. Just like click all of the links in my bio to see all of the cool things that I'm up to. We got my Twitch stream that I'm guesting with. We've got my Moxfield, my SoundCloud. Just click all of those links, follow everywhere, give me the thumbs up and the engagement. It feels good. We like it.
We all love the engagement. And speaking of, make sure you click the like button on this video or share it with your friends because that's free. You don't have to spend any money to do that, and it helps me out here. I appreciate that. All right. Quinn, thank you so much for hanging out. Everyone in chat, we're not even in chat right now. Everyone from chat, from the stream, thank you so much for being a part of this. And again, if you want to be a part of the next BREW-BRG deck builds, we're here every Sunday building these decks live, 10 p.m. Eastern over on my Twitch channel. I'll put the link somewhere up here. And you can be a part of the next one. It's a lot of fun, so come on, hang out. But all right, we're going to get out of here. I'm going to pass it back to myself to do the official outro, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you so much. We'll see you later.
Later, gamers.
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed that. Like I said, I really enjoyed playing this one. Well, really enjoyed doing this one with Quinn. It was a lot of fun. It was really interesting to get inside their head and see the deck building philosophy from Faye's eyes. So yeah, again, if you really enjoyed this, you can click the deck list. As always, it's going to be in the description below. Make sure you follow Quinn on all their social medias. I'll make sure to put the links down in the description as well. And if you enjoyed it, consider liking, subscribing, all the typical stuff YouTubers ask people to do. That now is when you would do it. If you don't mind, it would be really great. And as always, I do have a Patreon. I have a $1 tier and a $5 tier. The $1 gets you a thank you in every single video, which you'll see right after this. The $5, anytime I do a sticker or a little trinket or doodad, I will send it to my patrons before I send it to anybody else. So you kind of get first, you get your grubby little mitts on them before everybody. And again, all the donations there go to making this as good as it can be, and as fun as it can be, I guess, for me to make for you. So again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. We'll catch you in the next one. Have a good one. I still haven't figured out a good sign off for these things yet, so we're just gonna say, do a magic. That was terrible. That was so bad. Okay, bye. Thank you. I'll see you later. Peace. I don't know.